In our next tutorial, we're going to have a look at how to format pictures. Okay, so let's open up Word. I'm going to open up my example file there, formatting pictures. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit, and we've got there the landscape picture that we looked at cropping in the previous tutorial. Okay, so I want to see if I can make this picture a little bit more interesting. Okay, and Word has a range of picture formatting tools, and they're all right there on the Format tab. So if I click the Format tab, on the left hand side here, most of the formatting tools are there. The first thing we've got is the adjustment group there. Okay, and the first thing I want to try is some picture corrections. Okay, so if I give that a click, this will allow me to, at the top here, soften or sharpen the picture. Okay, and you should get a live preview. Now, sometimes it can be a bit slow, and it depends on the speed of your machine, but we can hover over those, and you can see that picture softening and then sharpening up. Now, frankly, I think mine was perfect the way it was. Below that, we can then adjust brightness and contrast. Okay, so again, we get a live preview, so we can hover over those, increase and decrease in the brightness and contrast until we get the perfect picture. And again, in my case, I think it was perfect. Now, there are always lots of other options, okay, and at the bottom of this corrections menu here, you can see picture correction options. We'll see the same thing on the other menus in a second. If we give that a click, that will open up the format picture dialog. Okay, so at the moment we're on the picture section of format picture, okay, and we're looking at the picture correction. So we had a lot of presets there, and those presets are right here as well. So my sharpen and soften presets, but if I want, I can set a particular value there, so we can be very precise over that. Okay, now if you do make a mess of it, we can always click reset at the bottom. That will take it back to what it was. And we've got the same options there for brightness and contrast. So again, we've got the presets that we saw earlier, but I can, this time I'll just use that scroll bar to drag it right over, increase or really decrease the brightness. Okay, back to the center, and then the same for the contrast. Okay, and remember, if you get in a situation where you've changed it so much there's no picture left, we just click reset. Okay, now for the moment I will close down my format picture panel. I'm still pretty much left with the picture I started with. I like the sharpness and the contrast of that. Okay, so our next option is to change the color of the picture. So I'm going to go up to color. Okay, so we've got options here for changing the color saturation. And again, if I hover over those, I'll get a live preview. So we can change the color saturation if we want a really vivid sky there, or tone the whole thing down a bit, and we've pretty much gone into black and white there. The color tone, and then underneath, recolor. Okay, so a grayscale, a sepia picture there. We can pick the color that we want. Okay, and again, if you want a little bit more control over the color of the picture, we can go to picture color options. Okay, and this time it's opened up the picture color section here. Again, we've got the presets, but we can adjust, fine-tune the saturation and the temperature of that picture. Okay, picture color is fine for me, but I don't want to jazz it up a little bit. So far I haven't done anything at all. Okay, so I'm going to head for some artistic effects this time. So artistic effects, and we have a range of built-in artistic effects that we can quickly apply. Again, hovering over these should give me a preview, so let's have a look at a couple of those. This is the paint strokes effect. Okay, and over on the right hand side, this is looking at that through some glass, and down at the bottom, this is the cutout effect, and that's the one I'm going to go for. So I give that a click and my picture changes. It's much more sort of a cartoon effect with that. Okay, so very quick and easy to change the appearance of the picture entirely. A little bit further to the right here, we also have some built-in picture styles. Now these styles will apply a range of other effects to it and apply borders, shadows. Okay, so again I can hover over those and hopefully see the effect that they will have. Okay, so some of these apply a border. There's a circular shape there. This one's got a border and a shadow, a little bit of rotation at that point, and this one will have a reflection at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go for that one there, and that gives it a little bit of three-dimensional rotation. Let's just resize that a little bit. We've got a white border and a shadow, and it actually makes it look as if it's been drawn onto a sheet of paper. Okay, I can always press undo, of course, if I take that a little bit too far, get it back again. Now these are preset designs. Okay, if we want, we can play about with that ourselves. So I can go to picture border. I can choose the weight of the border, the style of the border, and of course the color of the border. And again, as we saw on the picture effects, if I set the weight, I could go to more lines and then painstakingly tweak the appearance of that border line. Okay, so I can modify the border, and we've also got a range of picture effects that we can quickly apply. Okay, so different to the artistic effects, these apply to the whole picture rather than change the picture itself. Okay, so the presets, we have some presets. Okay, but I'm going to go straight in there for some shadow effects. These will put a shadow at the back of the picture. We've got some reflection effects, and this will cause the picture to reflect at the bottom. Glow will add some glowing edges to the borders of the picture, or we could soften those borders like that. Okay, and then bevel gives me a 3D edge, and finished with a 3D rotation. Now all of these effects, again, like everything else we've done, we can go right down to the bottom, 3D rotation options, give that a click, and we're now in full control of the rotation through the X-axis, the Y-axis, and the Z-axis. Okay, and further up, 3D format, soft edges, glowing edges. Now this is when it will really start taking a long time, but it may be worth it. Okay, now I want to reset that. I'm going to go back to my sheet of paper look there, close down that panel, and within a few clicks we've completely transformed the picture. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. I look forward to seeing you on the next video tutorial.